On the 27th of April 2025, 12 years...
Whoa, sorry about that.
On the 27th of April 2025, 12 years after the release of a certain game, Nintendo finally announced its greatly awaited sequel.
Tomodachi life, living the dream.
That's right, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. My story with the game is that in 2014, my sister bought the game, even though she didn't have a 3DS, so she just borrowed mine to play. But all she let me do is just watch her play, so I didn't have a say in what she'd do to the Miis, except for mine, and it just quickly got boring. The worst thing is that she would only play like once a month, and since Tomodachi Life is kind of like Animal Crossing where you have to play a bit every day for stuff to happen, the furthest we've been is a couple getting married, and that couple was my dad and a random lady we just made up. Anyway, fast forward 7 years, my sister dropped the game after like a year, so I kind of forgot about it. But then I came across one of Lauren Z-Side's video on Tomodachi Life, and the amount of things that kept happening, it just made me fall back in love with the game. At some point, I went through the Nintendo online store and I saw that I had enough coins to get a massive discount on the game. I can't remember the exact percentage, but I remember that at the end, I only paid like $18.
That's a steal if you ask me.
Also, a few years ago, I got a 2DS XL. Or was it a new Nintendo 2DS XL? Or is it just 2DS XL? Was there a new? I think there's a new. But if it's new, it means that there was another 2DS XL before that, wasn't it? What's the difference? I don't know, there are too many things. Anyway, so yeah, I got a new Nintendo, and so I just bought the game on my empty 3DS, just so my sister could still have her save file on my, well, new 2DS XL thing, although I'm pretty sure she's never gonna use it, but whatever. Since that day, I have played every single day for 2 years straight, sometimes when waking up, sometimes after school, and most of the times at night before going to bed. Now, I might say something a bit controversial, okay? But to me, Tomodachi Life is better than Animal Crossing New Horizons. And listen, I've played both games religiously, okay? I mean, in 2020, I was hooked to ACNH. And before I get executed, please hear me out. The two games are meant to be played similarly, where you play every day to take a little break from life, right? And now the thing is, Animal Crossing came out at a time where most people didn't really have a life, was pretty much on pause, so most of their time was spent on the game. And because of how big the game was at the time, things became weird. It started getting competitive. It wasn't about having fun anymore, it was about who had the most aesthetic island, who had the most popular villager, to the point where people spent hours on the game customizing it, and when there wasn't anything left to do today, why wait? Well, you can just change the date on your Switch. And that just defeated the point of day-based events or hourly-based events, or basically the game being coordinated with real life. People would even pay real-life money to get specific villagers. It was actually crazy. Like, the whole Raymond thing, so obviously people started getting tired of the game. They were burnt out. And I feel like it's kind of hard to get back to the game since you either A, did everything there was to do back in 2020, or B, left your island mid-renovation, and when seeing all the mess you left that's left to finish, you just immediately get overwhelmed. In contrast, Tomodachi Life came out at a time when people would only play when they were bored, and because the game had a limited amount of things you could do every day, you just play for a few minutes and then come back the next day. It's also not competitive at all. The main appeal of the game isn't how customizable it is. Everybody has the same island, so you don't have to worry about not having a Japanese garden with a waterfall and golden roses. You instead customize the island with the Miis you create. The key difference about the two games is how much personality they each have. I'm sorry to say this, but compared to the past games, New Horizons has no personality. Interacting with a villager is like talking to a wall with a smiley face on it. They don't say anything interesting. You know how when you try to compliment someone you don't really care about and you just go,
Oh, you're
Nice.
well, that's just true for every single NPC in the game. Tomodachi Life is the complete opposite. Every single thing about this game is full of personality. The concert hall, the news channels, the events, the Mii's reaction to food, the dreams of the Mii's of the Mii's. Opposite to New Horizons, Tomodachi Life is the game with so many random interactions that you keep on discovering. I recently decided to play again, and when the game started, a cutscene started playing of two Mii's deciding to end their relationship on good terms. Huh? Never in my life have I seen or heard of this cutscene up to that point. This game will keep on surprising you no matter how long you've been playing. In my opinion, this is what makes the game so replayable, because even after so many years, because of how random it is, you'll never truly get bored of it, and there's no to-do list to attend to and stress about. Also, I don't know if it's because it was like 1 a.m. and I was tired, but when I saw that cutscene, I started tearing up and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so emotional and mature, and so many people can learn from this. Like,
relationships don't all need to end the way they do.
Hi, this is Editing and Nico. I just realized how harsh I was towards Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I just want to say that I do love the game and I still think it's really good. It's just that when you were deep into the fandom in like 2020, the game was just not as enjoyable as it should have been. Also, I know that in the last updates the game received, they did try to improve the interactions with NPCs, like with the cafe and with villagers being able to come visit you, but I still think the main flaw is just that their only trait is being nice. But anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Anyway, did anyone forget that this video was about my Tomodachi Life 2 predictions? Because I low-key did.
Also, the title is a bit misleading. I think it's maybe more of like a wish list, like something I'm hoping for. But anyway, since the game is releasing in hopefully less than a year, I thought it would be a good time to make this video. So let's start.
Number 1 is pets. Now that's something I've seen a lot of people ask for, so it's not a very original point, but basically it would be nice if Mies could have a customizable pet, unlike the basic pet they got when receiving the dog or cat coupon. It would be nice if we could just see the Mies walk around and play with them, just for more interaction. Number 2 is a bigger apartment. Now, I don't want Tomodachi Life to be another Animal Crossing situation where there's everything to customize, but I do think it would be cute if we could see them interact with different rooms at specific times of the day, such as like the kitchen at noon or the bathroom after eating, I don't know. But it's just so we can have more interactions between the Mies and their environment. The different rooms could either come in sets or they could come separately so we can have different themes everywhere. But honestly, I just think it's a cute idea, but it doesn't necessarily add much to the game. Number 3 is more customizable clothing. That's really just to create more outfits like in Me Tomo, so every type of clothing will be separate. So for example, pants, shirts, hoodies, caps, shoes, socks. But you know, considering it was already a thing in Me Tomo, I don't think they're gonna go back to Tomodachi Life's amount of clothing customization, so I don't think it's something we should really worry about. Now, this is kind of the main controversial topic, being point 4, gay relationships. Basically, Tomodachi Life doesn't allow for two Mies of the same gender to date or get married. If you wanted to imitate a gay relationship between two men, you had to register one of them as male and the other as female. Because of that, Nintendo was caught in a bit of a controversy when the game released in the West, and in their apology, they promised that they would implement gay relationships in the next game. Now, if this does end up happening, 3 things might happen when the game gets released in very conservative countries. Number 1, the feature simply gets removed. Number 2, the game gets banned. Or number 3, the game gets labeled as being 18+, which is, I believe, what Russia did with Miitopia. Because in Miitopia, 2 male Mies can form a relationship, which I find really dumb. The relationships in this game aren't even romantic, but anyway. Now, how gay relationships would be implemented, either every Mii can date any other Mii, or you get to choose the sexuality of the Mii when creating it. And I don't think it's gonna be like, is the Mii heterosexual, homosexual, or bisexual? I think it's gonna be more subtle, like who will this Mii spend their life with, and then put gender symbols as an option. Number 5 is more family links between Miis. I would like it if we could create families, and I'm not talking about Miis having babies because that's already a thing. I'm talking about when creating a Mii, you can link it to another. Not only to avoid them dating each other, because it's already happened that I created a Mii based off someone I know, and that Mii wanted to confess to their siblings, so also for specific interactions between family members, such as like more arguments between siblings or parents scolding their children. I don't know, I think that'd be funny. Number 6 is an update of the Mii Maker overall. People have pointed out how Miis in the trailer have features which we have never seen before, such as different noses, different haircuts, different ears, or even ears, period. And I think it would be cool if they updated the whole Mii Maker, not only on Switch, but also on the website, instead of making those features exclusive to Tomodachi Life. I totally understand why they made the Miitopia Mii Maker exclusive to the game, because we don't really need eye shinies, we don't need wigs, we don't need makeup, and also the makeup kind of just made Miis look less like Miis. But the features that I've seen in the trailer seems to make Miis more inclusive. It just makes sense to me that they would implement those features to the basic Mii Maker. Now, those next few points are more just stuff that I think would be fun.
Number 8 is more interactions between players. So for example, your friends can send you items or they can send you Miis to visit your island. If a friend or another account on your Switch has Tomodachi Life and Nintendo Online, you can select their Mii to add to your island. It's just a fun idea. If you have friends or relatives who play the game, it can just make it feel more like it's them in the game. One thing New Horizons did really well is the interactions between players. So for example, there you can send to your friends furnitures that they might not have or that might not be available in a certain color. And I just think it would be really interesting if we were able to send to other players clothing items, food, or even interiors. Number 9 is kind of an unrealistic idea, but basically imagine if on the Nintendo Switch app, you could interact with your Mii, like it's just there and you can just tap on it and it just talks to you. I don't know, it's just kind of useless, but I just thought it would be fun. I don't know. And just like Splatoon 3 or Splatoon 2, maybe on the app you could also order items, you know? I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Okay, number 10 is also kind of an unrealistic expectation. I don't know, we'll see. But basically, Tomodachi Life had this minigame called Tomodachi Quest, and I don't know if it was some kind of test or teaser for Miitopia, but in hindsight, I feel like that's what it was. And so who knows, maybe we'll get a Tomodachi Quest 2, and that could be hinting at a Miitopia sequel, you know, who knows. I'm just throwing it out there, you know. And finally, number 11, a reintroduction of the Miis. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like compared to the other consoles, the Nintendo Switch doesn't have a whole lot of personality. Whether it be the blank home menu, the lack of music, but also the Miis being hidden in the settings menu. I feel like Miis were such a big part of Nintendo's identity. They were everywhere, but now, I mean, some kids don't have a Mii or probably don't even know what they are. And when Nintendo Switch Sports tried to replace the Miis, I was like, I was hoping the Miis would get reintroduced with the Miitopia remake, but they didn't. And now this is kind of our last hope. So yeah, if they still don't get reintroduced, well, I guess we just have to hope together for a shared delusion. Before the video ends, I just want to say that I truly hope that this new game will be just as, if not more, dramatic, weird, dumb as the previous one, because games like these, they're just fun. There's no other to put it. They're just fun. And I feel like there's truly no other game like Tomodachi Life. Anyway, if you guys have any other ideas of things you'd like to see in the next game, don't hesitate to put them in the comments, and I will see you soon. Bye!